Support for Music Money University and the following message are brought to you by TuneCore. Do you want to take your career to the next level and start making money from your music? The good news is all you need is a digital distributor. TuneCore is dedicated to helping independent artists get their music in over 150 digital stores and streaming services in over 100 countries worldwide. And the best part is, they never take a cut of the money they collect for you. No label, no catch, no barriers to selling your music worldwide. Take control of your career and get 20% off your first upload on TuneCore by clicking the link in our show notes. Welcome to Music Money University, where you learn in-depth strategies on how real artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs earn a full-time income in the music business. I am your host, Omari, and today on our show we have Chase Bell. Chase is a singer-songwriter based in Los Angeles who produces, performs, and writes his own material. He has performed throughout Europe, Africa, and the U.S. with his original style of pop music, a unique and modern blend of pop, rock, funk, and cinematic styles. His music has been featured on films, TV networks like Fox and Lifetime. Projects he has worked on have won a Telly and an Aurora award. Chase has also produced and written for artists in hip-hop, pop, country, and rock, and has worked in award-winning studios all over the country. In August 2019, Chase released his acoustic singer-songwriter album, Make Me Come Alive. Check out more info and music from Chase Bell on his website, chasebell.com, and on social media at Chase Bell Music. Chase, welcome to Music Money University.
Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you on. Chase, the way we like to kick things off on our show is to dive right into the numbers. And why we do that is because without numbers, you and I are just talking opinions. And we want to give people the results on what we've done, not just the opinions and the theory. So tell us how much you make each year in your music business, your music career, the breakdown of where the revenue is coming from, whether that be merchandise, film licensing, touring, etc.
Right.
And which advertising methods have worked best for you.
Yeah, well, the last, I've been doing music solely for about 4 years, and I've been basically engaging 95% of my energy in music since I was, able to work. So, but the first, so every single year, my business, kind of doubles almost. And so now I'm making about $6,000 a month off of income, and so it's less about the year but about the month. So everything changes every year. When I got my music on Lucifer, which was 2017, I got paid from that. 2018, that was the biggest month I got, was $4,500 that month, and I was like, wow, that's the biggest month I've ever had. Now $4,500 a month is a low month for me. So this year I'm probably going to make around, 70,000. Last year I made about 50,000, and the year before that I made 45,000 or something like that. So not quite doubling. And the year before that I made maybe 20. So yeah, it's a steady climb up. Not quite doubling. That would be really good actually, but no. So yeah, no, it's definitely growing every year, and the way that I'm continuously positioning myself to change career paths, because that's the way that it's made sense for me. So I always thought that making money in music was better than not making money in music, but I wanted to make money as the artist, and that is sometimes one of the hardest things. So instead of making money as the artist, I would make money as the engineer. For example, 4 years ago, I would just engineer sessions, and then I would get in as a producer when I could. And now I don't engineer at all unless I'm engineering a vocal, on something that I'm producing. They're paying me to produce, and I hire out the engineer. So I thought that was a really good approach that a lot of artists could take. That instead of going hey, let's go for the gold, that of course I was an artist the whole time, but making money as the artist, with ASCAP revenue. Well, I'm an ASCAP, so, but, with royalty revenue, with streaming, with, performing, with doing different things like that. That does make money eventually, but, it's better to be in the music game consistently. So as an artist, sometimes my months are big. I'll make a lot of money as an artist some months, and then other months won't. But what's consistent for me is that I get to produce other artists. I get to be the guy that, writes for artists all the time, and where I'm constantly pitching to like the top names in the industry, and I'm producing other artists from, like I said, hip hop, country, pop, rock, anything, and that is like a steady gig for me, where it's about $5,000 a month, and all I need to produce at that level is like 4 or 5 songs a month, and that quota is kind of met, and then I can focus the rest of my energy on whatever the next level of the plan is for me. So, and I don't want to not. What I said before was that it was like a ladder, and I don't want to ever stop producing. I'm just saying that it would be great to just be making enough money as an artist to not have to do anything else. But that hasn't come out quite that way yet, but I'm sure that it will.
You said the bulk of it right now is about $5,000 a month. Is that just from producing other artists, or is that a mix of the licensing revenue and other things?
It really depends on what my recent placements were. So like 2018, I made a lot more than this year off of ASCAP royalties. So I own all the publishing and all the writing rights on everything that I've gotten on a TV and film so far. And retaining those rights means that any money that comes in, I don't have to pay anyone. I have an agent. I have a publishing company that I'm working with on a different album, but the stuff that I've gotten onto different things, I see everything of that. So like last year, I got a lot of different placements, and then every month would be like $500 a month almost of income. But this year, that has kind of slowed down because I haven't been focusing so much on placements. I've been focusing on producing artists that I believe in, and that's like a paycheck or a cash rather than seeing ASCAP money come in. But still a trickle. It's about maybe $100 to $200 a month from revenue from streaming and stuff like that, where I'm not really even focused in that area right now.
And you said you have an agent. What does your agent help you do?
Well, my agent tries to get more sync licenses.
Okay, and since you're not focusing on that aspect right now,
well, I am. It's just that's not my main focus. I'm always doing sync stuff. I'm always pitching to sync. But the problem with sync is that they want you to, it's about their needs, right? And as an artist, in my opinion, you can't really focus on what the industry's needs are. They're going to tell you, we need someone who sounds just like, that name of today, and 6 months is going to be someone else. And if you're trying to make your own name, you can't really focus on trying to sound or emulate the hottest name that's like right now. You're just going to miss your opportunity. So at some level, of course I do sync stuff. But like, I just do it as kind of a practice to, continue, keep continuously sharpen my skills as a producer and songwriter. But my heart isn't quite as in it as when I'm doing my own stuff, which, yeah.
Okay. And you said most of your working life has been in music, or was there a transition point to where you were doing something else and then you transitioned to music full time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, I used to drive Uber when I was like 20, 21, 22. I was driving Uber.
So at what point were you able to do that full-time switch? Was it right when you got the placements on the bigger TV networks? And what did your revenue look like then? Because people hearing this, they might, obviously a lot of them are not at where you would be. And like, what does that transition look like? At that point, maybe were you making like $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month from the music? And then you were like, okay, now is it? Right.
Yeah, I think that I jumped into it earlier than it made sense to, but actually it made sense to do that because it forced me to tell myself I have to pay my rent, and I told myself I'm not going to do anything, and no client has paid me this month. I remember 2 years ago at this point, I went through like a lull, and that's the thing about a steady job is that you get steady income, and this business, you're hot. I was on Lucifer, and I got paid like great money then, and then I sent all this stuff to that supervising company. I sent like a whole album of stuff that was perfect for that show and other shows that I got. I did my research. I knew the supervisors. I had the connections to the editors. They were sending me, things, and the songs were, in my opinion, perfect for their shows, and I didn't get anything. And I went through about 4 or 5 months where it was like just scraping by, literally like extremely difficult. But I stayed in it, and so you got to take at some point you got to take the leap of faith. And I took the leap of faith earlier than it wasn't like, oh, now the money's coming in, so now I'm going to stop my career, or now I'm going to stop, making money anywhere else. Like, it wasn't quite like that. I'm not suggesting anyone to be just like me. I'm just saying that you got to just pick and choose your battles. I mean, I now I'm living great. I have so much work to do that I really don't have any time to do anything besides work. Like every waking moment, I could just be working on projects for people. And at one point, that was like all I wanted was just to like not have any time to do anything else besides work on stuff that was, making me feel like I'm alive as an artist, as a producer. And I remember being there, not having that, and thinking like all I needed was that. And so yeah, I just want to be like, and the way I talk about my story, Omari, I just want to be an inspiration to other artists. So I'm just picking and choosing how I say this. But yeah, I mean, so what I'm trying to get to you is that it wasn't like a specific number that I thought once I reach this number, now I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be in music 100%. I was in 100% the whole time, even when I was doing Uber. Even when before that, I was doing parking valet in Beverly Hills. I would just make only the amount of money that I absolutely needed, and then I would stop, and then I would go back to focusing on what I really, really wanted to do, which is music. And eventually, yeah, I told myself, no more, never again. I'm going to get a job that's not in music, and it was really, really, really tough because as I continued to grow in the business, like it's a lot that I needed to learn in business, like, how to sign contracts, how to, speak about things that are in music, but not the fun part. Everybody thinks that you want to go to the studio and you want to record the vocal, you want to engineer a session, you want to do the fun stuff, but there's a lot of business stuff that needs to be taken care of. And if you don't take care of that, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And then you're gonna have to do something else with business. You're gonna have to go back to, you're gonna go behind the bar, so there's a lot of like business stuff, as you know, Omari, that's like, you got to handle that stuff. But yeah, there was, like I said, there wasn't like a set number that I told myself, this is the number I needed to make in order to be self-sufficient. I just kind of like jumped into it around when I was making about, maybe $1,500 a month to $2,500. If I made $2,500, like 4 years ago, that would have been like, I made $2,500 from music this month. Like that's good. All I need is that, and I'm basically living off of music. But now I buy so much material. I buy 3 or 4 flights to New York a month. $2,500 a month is just not going to even sustain like what I need to do, So as you get bigger, everything gets more expensive and everything gets more, the numbers get bigger and the need to buy more things get bigger, better employees and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I'd probably want to just add something there for everybody that thinks that you're just going to make $1 million. When people say they make $1 million, that's not $1 million going in their pocket. That's most of the time, that's the top line revenue. And then you have all your expenses. So as you do get bigger, you have to hire the right people on your team. Like you were talking about your booking agent, or I don't know if they're probably not like W-2 employee for you, but still having the right people around you. And even if one costs a little bit more than the other, they can get you the right opportunities. you know, you make your money